know how you look at it, but I look at it this way. It's more about us discussing how Morocco can limit the danger that France can do. But probably before we get into that, and before I forget, I'll talk about however good they are, there's a weak link here. If Morocco are going forward, if you looking somewhere, you can get or pick them on. Lucas Digne defensively for me. What do you think?
Not just defensively, and also because of the fact that he's a player that likes coming up a lot in terms of supporting, his team's attack. So if there's any moment of transition, then this Moroccan side are smart enough to know where the spaces are. So this is one space that they will likely utilize. But I know what you're referring to, and I think I agree with you. Defensively, he's not the most convincing. In 1v1 situations, opponents get to get the better of him in most situations. Upamecano, a little bit too rushed in terms of tackles at times. Saliba, bit of a cool head, so you can rest assured that he's going to make the right decision. Upamecano also tends to make those rush decisions, can be overly aggressive at times. So this can also be a possibility of the Moroccan probably, getting set pieces. Koundé, not much threat going forward, not the best of, crosser. So I don't think the Moroccan should be very, very wary of that. But of course, helps his team to retain possession and circulate possession. So in that regard, is quite good. Of course, solid in 1v1 situations. Looking at this Moroccan side, I think their best bet today in terms of limiting the threat that this French side is going to pose is definitely not high press, because the biggest mistake that you can do with this French team is try to high press them, because once you do that, you're clearly playing into their game, because they're very comfortable. They will get out of your press. Doesn't matter how aggressive you try to be, they will get out of it. And the most disturbing thing, because if you're high pressing, then it means your center backs are here. You'll be giving Kylian Mbappe all this space with the kind of speed that he's got. Do it, same thing, quite fast. Same can be said against Dembele and Olise. So if you're high pressing them and your backline is here, this is suicidal. Giving them all this space, rest assured they're going to run riots. But once you limit them in terms of the space that you can give them, all right, by and large, you will have neutralized his pace, because yes, he's quite a fast forward, but when they don't have big enough space for them to run at, then, and definitely Bono will be trying to play a little bit off his line, not too high up, but a little bit off his line, just to cut off any long balls that might be going through. So if they approach this particular match here, I feel they probably stand a chance. But if they play in a low block, then in as much as probably that's where their strength lies in terms of coming out on counter-attacks, I think defensively today that might work against them.
Quite an interesting decision here and selection. Mazraoui has been playing as a left back, and by the way, whatever they say, I feel Hakimi and Mazraoui playing, I felt Morocco easily had top 6-7 at the World Cup in terms of fullbacks. These two here. Mazraoui, I don't think, by the way, people give him enough credit. This guy, left-right, is one of the best in the world, and he's doing really. But the decision to play him here, because they've been partnering Diop with different players.
Absolutely.
I think El Habi, if I'm not mistaken, played the last one. Different centre-backs. Today they play him here and not left. What do you think the reason behind this is?
I was struggling to understand the logic behind that, because I feel today, more than ever, Mazraoui would have played a crucial role here. Because you're coming up against Dembele, of course, quite, comfortable on both legs, but likes to cut in a lot and take those, long-range, left-footed, or rather, shots from his left foot. So I felt that there, Mazraoui would have, by a great extent, limited the sort of damage that Dembele can give them, because Mazraoui is right-footed. So every time Dembele is coming in, he's coming into his strong foot, so it's easy for him to react in terms of blocking and to also react in terms of probably trying to intercept the ball from him. But here, I'm interested in seeing what the thinking is.
Could it be down to not expecting a lot of aerial presence in the box from the French, and therefore is a good defender, so he can work with the feet down? You don't have to worry too much. Diop is enough in the air. And it's not that. Yeah. And that's Mazraoui, by the way. Don't take nothing away from him. He's still a good head of the ball, but
absolutely,
he's definitely not the biggest, and he's a fullback. So the heading is different when you have a centre back in there. Do you think that could be one?
I highly doubt that might be maybe the thinking behind it, because Mazraoui is quite tall as well. Even as a left back, if you look at him, he's quite tall. So I don't think that could be it. Maybe the fact that he's very composed on the ball, and the coach is thinking we need a centre-back that can be composed. A centre-back can also help us to start build-ups very, very quickly from the back, or a centre-back that is, comfortable on the ball, even under pressure. That could be it. But I'm struggling to understand maybe why they would decide to do that.
Talbi, quite an interesting inclusion here. Could it be because of his pace, maybe?
Absolutely. Yeah. If there's anything that this Moroccan side know that they're going to have a lot of today is definitely space. Because these guys will step up. They will try to pin them down. And once they do that, there will be a lot of space that is available. So maybe that you might be right in the sense that they've opted to have him here just because of his pace. One thing that this Moroccan side should do well today as well is to maintain their shape. Even when these gentlemen are trying to interchange positions, even when they are doing all these rotations, if the Moroccan can still maintain their shape, they will be good to go. But if they try to track runners, they get sucked into certain movements, then a lot of spaces will open up.
30 seconds, quick reaction. 18 years, 290 days, the youngest player to play as a teenager to play in a quarterfinals, second youngest, youngest obviously Pele against Wales back in the day. He was 17 years, 239 days, thereabout. How important will he be in keeping this central channel closed for this French team?
Well, defensively, of course, he has to be at his best today if they are going to stop this French side. And more so because of this guy here, Olise. Olise has shown that he's got that ability, all right, to get into spaces and to drive into those particular spaces with quite immense space. He has also shown us that he has the ability to choose the right path and probably get Mbappe or even get Dembele. So I think defensively today he has to be at his best in terms of his positional play. He has to be at the right place at the right time in terms of trying to disrupt play and making those vital interceptions. But also, speaking of this Moroccan side, they've also relied on Hakimi a lot in terms of attacking. So today I'm curious to see where most of the attacks are going to come from, because you'll have a lot to think about defensively, so that might limit his contribution in terms of attack.
Let's get into those predictions.
Well, this is a really difficult game to call. I've had to make predictions, but this one here, unfortunately, while it might be tight, as France 3-1.
1-1. It's a draw.
Draw at full time, so a potential of extra time in this particular one, if Modo is correct. As for 3-1, it will be an improvement for Morocco to score against France for any Africa team in this place when it comes to the FIFA World Cup. It's a big game. It's coming your way. We have Baada, who I've just spoken of. He has become the first African player as a teenager to play in 5 consecutive World Cup matches. Hopes and big dreams for that man, hopes and big dreams for the future. But for the present, it is Morocco hoping to beat a difficult French side, and that game is coming your way live next.